Hi, Katie. My name's Julie. I'm going to be the occupational therapist that's working with Henry. And I wanted to meet with you today because I received the referral from the doctor. And after meeting with Henry and getting to do a couple of assessments with him, I have gained a better idea of what I want to work on with your son. And I know that at school, he had some things that he was working on with his school OT. So maybe I would want to get a sense of what you're working on to see if I could tie that into my treatment with him as well.
Definitely. So some of the things we're trying to work on in therapy right now in school, he kind of has a hard time paying attention to tasks for periods of time. Things we'll do at preschool that the teacher has him do. So we're really trying to focus on his attention so that he can really participate in those activities in the classroom. Also trying to work on his handwriting. That's definitely something we would like to see him do to be able to go to kindergarten, as well as his use of scissors. We were trying to work on that as well. So those are our main areas and our main areas of concern, stuff that we're trying to address right now with him as far as getting him ready to attend school.
Okay. And then, Mom, does that sound kind of the things that you're wanting us to work on
definitely.
as well? Or what are your biggest concerns with Henry?
Well, right now, Henry loves to play and interact with other kids, but I've also noticed that, his inattention and him needing, redirection is always causing more difficulties in the home and at school. So we just really want to focus on getting him to where he needs to be ready to go to school and helping him get ready in the morning. Our morning routine is a little chaotic sometimes. So working on all his self-care tasks and participating more in the house without having behavioral issues too.
Okay. And then also from the referral, I saw that just his lack of coordination, that's also something that you're wanting to address? Yes. Okay. So after the first time I met with Henry, I was able to do a couple of different assessments with him. And one of them is called the sensory profile. And basically what this test is just to see how your son is responding to the environment around him, if there's anything that maybe is a trigger for him, and that in turn changes his behavior. So one of the things that I noticed is that really his awareness of his environment, he doesn't seem as in tune with it as other kids his age usually are. And so that would be something I'd want to work on, is just getting that sensory input so that he's really understanding it, and then in turn he's going to be able to better participate with his kids in the classroom, all that sort of stuff. And then we were able to do another test that looks at the developmental milestones for children, and I know that he was born early, and so he is meeting those milestones a little bit later than most kids. But again, this is something that as an OT I work with a lot, and so we're going to get him to the point that he needs to be in order to go to kindergarten next year.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Okay, good.
I want him to be able to participate and
great.
His milestones.
And I agree with you, Kelsey, in terms of the things that you're working on with him in school. And so what I've gathered from meeting with him is that I really want to work on his coordination, giving him that sensory input so that he can better attend to things, because I know that you were saying that inattention is an issue.
It's a big issue at home.
Yeah, so something we do here is working on kids with sensory integration, and so to basically put that into simpler terms, it's where we give them some time to participate in things like setting up swings, doing obstacle courses, spinning around, and it just gives them a different kind of input so that in turn they can go and participate in things like handwriting or getting themselves dressed without getting so distracted and frustrated with that. And then I'm also wanting to again work on refining his fine motor skills so that he can be able to get himself dressed in the morning, get ready for school, and just make the lives for you guys a lot easier so that he is more independent, because he'll be 7 next year, so we definitely want to get him to that point. And so I think that the sensory integration is really going to be a big focus for me. And again, working on fine motor skills, handwriting, cutting, tracing, drawing, just things that he's going to need for school.
And those are things that we can practice at home, right?
Yes, definitely. So I'll have some resources for you in order to potentially get some adaptive equipment. So that would be scissors that are more made for someone that doesn't have as much strength,
Okay.
or for a kid that doesn't have much strength, to make it a little bit easier for him. And then just another tip, like from what I've seen of him, do you ever give him bubble gum?
Not normally.
Does he ever get bubble gum in class?
Not typically. I mean,
Okay.
a lot of those kids just, don't get bubble gum and don't
Okay.
have the opportunity. So
I think that just from the little snippet that I saw of him, try that and just see
Okay.
how that potentially works.
Okay.
Sometimes that can help with attention. If you give them something to focus on, it helps them to better focus on the task at
Okay.
hand. So just something to think about right now. But is there any other questions or concerns that you have, or does everything that I'm
Yeah,
planning to do sound
definitely.
okay?
How often do you think you'll need to see him?
So what I'm thinking right now is, since he is getting OT at school, I'm more looking at once a week. So
Okay.
it would be for about an hour,
Okay.
and then in about 3 months, hopefully we can meet again, see how his progress is going, and maybe if you feel like he needs more, we can set up more time. But if not, I think that's going to be an adequate amount of therapy outside of school.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay,
Yeah, thank you.
you're
and
welcome.
if there's any other strategies you come up with in therapy for Henry, if you can share them with me too, because I think it'd be beneficial for him to have
Yes,
that
definitely.
cohesiveness, to be able to use those strategies at home, at school, wherever he is. I think
Okay.
that'll be really helpful.
Yeah,
for him.
so I think that after I have a few sessions with him, again, Mom, I'll meet with you, but then I'll also email you any strategies or things
Cool.
that he could potentially use in the classroom.
Definitely. Awesome.
That sounds
All right.
good.
Well, thank you for coming to meet with
Yeah,
us.
thank you. We look
Thanks.
forward to working with you.
Yes, us too.